So there were 2 new wildfire starts in the last 24 hours. Currently, there are 15 wildfires burning in Alberta, 2 out of control, 1 being held, 10 under control, and 2 turned over to local authorities. Across the province, there are currently 2,423 firefighters, 189 helicopters, 29 air tankers, and 439 pieces of heavy equipment. There was no significant growth in the Peace River fire from yesterday. It's still around 20,000 hectares. We're hoping that with cooler temperatures and rain in the forecast for northwest Alberta, that we can really get a handle on that one over the next several days. The Greenview County fire that caused the evacuation of Little Smoky is now classified as being held by local authorities. The Fort McMurray fire continues to burn out of control. It is now more than 505,645 hectares. This fire has now reached the Saskatchewan border, northeast of Gordon Lake. Mandatory evacuations continue to be in place for 19 work camps north of Fort McMurray, as well as the communities of Fort McMurray, Anzac, Fort McMurray First Nation, Fort Mackay, and Gregoire Lake Estates. Weather today in the Wood Buffalo region is forecast to be a high of 16 degrees with relative humidity of 40% and winds from the northeast at 30 and gusting to 50 kilometers per hour. Similar weather is forecast for tomorrow, which represents a good opportunity for firefighters to continue to strengthen their position in controlling the fire. And firefighters will continue their hard work to protect homes, communities, and other critical infrastructure. At this point, none are considered to be at immediate risk. However, there was a 5-unit condo complex on Siland Forest Road in South Thickwood that was damaged by fire yesterday. The cause is unknown and an investigation is underway. This is the same complex that suffered fire damage earlier this week. Natural gas lines in the neighborhood were pressurized, but gas was not connected to those residences. As far as the recovery work goes, we're hoping to get workers back in the community tomorrow to resume work on the hospital restoration. This will depend on air quality conditions, since one of their main tasks is to clean up smoke-related contamination. Air quality in the region fluctuates rapidly throughout the day, depending on wildfire conditions and on the weather. Yesterday, we saw the number go as high as 51 in the morning, but it had dropped to the low teens later in the day. This morning, it is at 3, but forecast to be more than 10 today and tomorrow. We expect that weather will improve the air quality conditions. However, there still is a large and active wildfire surrounding the community, and air quality will continue to fluctuate until conditions stabilize. At this time, we're still aiming for the hospital to be able to provide basic services by June 1st. This week, we were also able to get a few retailers in to inspect their facilities. This is part of the plan to ensure there are some basic amenities such as grocery stores and pharmacies up and running when residents return. Those visits were temporarily halted when air quality conditions deteriorated, but now we're planning to ramp them up again on a voluntary basis as long as air quality holds at more acceptable levels. And we are supporting them with masks and advice on how to work safely in that environment. Electricity service has been restored to more than 90% of customers, and natural gas has been restored to 75% of customers. The investigation into the explosion that took place on May 17th has not been completed yet. However, as a precautionary measure, ATCO has shut off the gas at the meter to all homes and businesses in Fort McMurray. As residents and businesses return, they can request ATCO to come to each location, do a gas safety inspection at the property, turn on the service, and help to relight each appliance.